Hello and welcome back to the 2024 Formula 4 Arabia Gulf Prix of Motor Town here in Kuwait. As always, my name is Aaron Thompson and we will be joined very shortly by Luca Philippe. But before then, I believe we're going to have a quick run down to the pit lane with Marcello Puglisi in just a moment. Here for the second race of the second event in the inaugural season of the championship. I'm joined now by Luca Philippe. How are you doing today, Luca?
Hello everybody. So, last day in Kuwait, which is a shame because I kind of enjoy being here in Kuwait, and we had amazing racing over these last 2 weeks. And today is gonna be, one of those days where everybody will try to put everything together and bring home the best result possible.
Yes, indeed. And race 2 here is a reverse grid by virtue of your second fastest laps of qualifying reversed if you're within 4 seconds of the race leader, which should make things very, very interesting here at the start of this race.
Yes, we are also going to see some different strategies in terms of tires, as some of the guys are going to prioritize the starting position, so potentially having a fresh set for this race or next race, and I would say the guys that have the best starting position for the race 4, which gives the full points, will prioritize that. From this point of view, they have the opportunity to move around all the 2 complete sets, the 8 tires, as they prefer, right to left, also mix the 2 sets if they want. This circuit we have seen that is quite hard on the outside tire, so instead of being like harder, for example, on the rear tires like in Bahrain, is a bit harder on the right side. So you could even decide to have the better right side for each race, and you know that you will be a little bit faster in the left corners to start the race with, but then through the race that evens up during the race distance.
And is that because it's an anti-clockwise circuit, Luca?
Yes, which is a little bit unconventional, but some of the best circuits in the world are anti-clockwise, like this one, like Imola for sure, or Turkey in Istanbul, and then many American circuit, while normally European style is more clockwise. But there isn't like a specific rule, and actually it's just one of those things that you can decide. We also have seen circuits changing clockwise to anti-clockwise in their history. Like Misano is a change that 3 times already in his history. So, but this is nice.
Yeah, it is a fantastic circuit. We've seen a few times before already. And I believe we're going down to Marcello Puglisi now for a quick word with the drivers, who I'm sure are going to say exactly the same thing.
Here we are this morning, ready to go for the first race of the day. That is the second race of this weekend. As you know, the race today will start with the reverse grid of the qualifying.
Hey guys, same small technical issue that we had in the last race. Not to worry though, Luca and I will keep you entertained while everything gets sorted out down on the pre-grid. And I say pre-grid because we have a little bit of a different starting procedures than F1 and other races, Luca. We try to minimize the amount of track time we need to take from the circuit and compact the procedure as much as possible, so we don't go out onto the starting grid and set up the cars there. We actually set up everything and the pre-grid right in front of our pit garages, and then we go straight out from there, sighting lap, formation lap, and that's the start of the race.
Yeah, so from this point of view, it's also a way to have everything done without so much pressure for so long for the drivers, because sometimes when you start putting on the helmet and you are doing the pre-grid in the pits, which everybody has to do, then if you have to stop on the grid sometimes, then you have to stay there for long. Can be hot, can be cold, can be wet, can be dry, can be sometimes also not ideal for engines and stuff. And I don't know, that just raises the pressure, and while having a much shorter and compacted procedure, I think is more straightforward, especially for these very young guys. And then having 3 races in one day, we also have to maximize our time. So in between races, we can spend time with the drivers in looking at videos and looking at telemetry data, and so they can improve from one race to the other. Just before we were looking videos like the overtaking from yesterday, the opening laps, so they understand what they can improve in car positioning, and where they can maximize their position. Definitely.
Did you manage to have a look yesterday how Oscar Wertz got up into P2 on that first lap?
He had a very good start, especially the reaction time was very fast. So he has a way to release the clutch which is quite quick, which is quite of a high risk reward. So if it goes well, you have the engine revs dropping, but then you don't have too much wheel spin, and it's very efficient. There is a little bit of a higher risk, but he nailed it, and he did very well. While in front of him, he had Kirill Kuskov, which on the contrary, he had a very slow start. He had a very slow. He decided to have a slower approach in terms of the clutch, but that desert mostly is reaction time, and when you try to release the clutch a little slower, sometimes it just takes longer for the car to move, and so you see other cars approaching and coming on your side, so then suddenly you just release the clutch and then you create wheel spin which you didn't want to, and it wasn't ideal for Kirill, and definitely the start has hurt his race and his result.
And what does Kirill need to do differently for this race then?
So Kirill just needs to practice more the start, needs to learn. He comes straight from karting, and also in terms of testing, he doesn't have so much testing in his background. So it's just the feel that he doesn't have yet with the clutch. Maybe some older drivers they do, just because also maybe they have more time to drive also regular cars. So just about once you learn it, you click it, and then it goes.
Yeah, we've seen that already with Kirill. He had a tough weekend last time around, and now he's up in P2 in qualifying, and you know, looking fantastic. But let's have a quick look around the circuit one more time, Luca.
Yeah, we can see from the top. This is a really amazing circuit. Very fast. So we have turn 1 after the start that goes into a chicane 1A, 1B, then a very long straight up to 6th gear, overtaking place here in turn 2, and then we have a elevation change in 3, 4, 5 with a compression, very long corners in 6, then a flat out section that goes for a fantastic corner that goes from 12 to 15 in a nice and low arc on the right hand side, and then 18, 19 really difficult high-speed corners that leads in the last one, which is an overtaking place also. 5.6 kilometer, like we always said, is an amazing circuit. All the drivers are super excited, super happy. Since the very first lap, there was a lot of excitement. We have seen videos before coming here, but actually driving it, it's even better. The elevation changes are really challenging, and when you are on track at the beginning, it takes a while to learn, to understand. It's one of those places that the more you drive, the more you learn, the more you find, find details around the circuit. It's very challenging.
Yeah, it certainly looks it, and we can see the drivers all picking it up as they go along. We had a tough race here. The very first race here was a bit tough. We had 2 safety cars out, but we can see already everybody's figured out where to overtake and where not to overtake. And it was a very, very clean but still extremely interesting race in In the evening yesterday, we had a fantastic train going on with Andrei Petrovic and Kirill Kutskov and Sagar, and I believe Hamda was in there as well at the back. Even Omar Al-Walid Al-Durrani was trying to get his hand in there. It was a fantastic fight. They seemed to be up right on top of each other the entire race, but nobody could find a way past. Sagar tried and tried and tried. Even at the carousel he was trying, but just couldn't get past Andrei in front of him.
So I really loved that race from the coaching point of view, because we didn't have so much action, but it meant that nobody did mistake. It meant that everybody drove his best, and that the pace was so similar between them that it was really difficult to overtake each other. So I think they all did an amazing job, and this made me very proud of them. So from that point of view, I think it's the best race we had so far, even if definitely wasn't the most exciting, but it was my favorite from, you know, the driving standards point of view. Everybody did an amazing job. Very clean, but fair and tough, and it has also been the fastest race we had, both for the leaders and both for also the guys that were more at the back. They also improved massively, and they had so much faster pace, so really promising.
So here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody's stopped on grid now. This is the formation lap, I believe. In just a moment, you'll see the lights go green, and we'll proceed around one more time. This will be the final lap now before the start of the race. Once the cars come to rest once again at the starting grid, you'll see all 5 lights go on, and as they extinguish, we will be underway. Formation lap here, we need to see everybody warming up their tires, as Luca has explained to us time and time again. There's 2 methods to do this, longitudinally and latitudinally. In the sighting lap, traditionally you'll see the more longitudinal braking to bring the temperature into the discs and pads and rims and warm up the inner part of the tire. And now you can see everybody moving to a longitudinal warm-up pattern where they're now trying to warm up the exterior of the tire as well. Have I gotten that right this time around, Luca?
Fantastic, Aaron. So that's a perfect explanation.
Well, I guess you can teach old job new tricks, huh?
And this is the Pirelli tire, so I would say for Formula 4 is really good tire, I have to say, and is what we see also in other championship at top levels in Formula 4. And but
well,
it's
actually
also
the only championship other than Italy that uses Pirelli, isn't it?
Is Italy for sure, and also Central East Europe.
CZ uses Pirelli as well, do they?
Yes, and some winter series also.
Okay.
But I think it's also important because when you go up in the next categories, like for example the regional by Alpine or F3, F2, you have also a similar tire in terms of characteristic because it's the same brand. And Pirelli, it's a really good tire, but it has a very specific and crucial warm-up procedure that you just have to learn and feel. So for them, that they are rookies, it's also important that they learn this process, so they will be able to bring this experience forward in the next years. And also because Pirelli is so specific for the warm-up. Once you learn how to feel it, then also if you drive other tires, then it's an experience that is really important because you can still transfer the experience on the other tires, and then I think it's one of those things that it will remain forever. And
it's like riding a bike.
Yes. To make a long story short, yes. You got it.
Well, coming down the back straight now, let's have a quick run through the starting order. In pole position, we have the dark blue number 55 of Laura Villas driving for Sweden, just ahead of Juancho Probio driving for the Philippines in the red number 77. The 2 drivers starting on the front grid, on the front row, the front grid by virtue of their reverse times, the reverse second fastest laps from qualifying. Just behind them we have Faisal Al-Kabani and Omar Al-Walid Al-Durrani, the Saudi drivers in the silver and yellow cars respectively. 5th and 6th we have Federico Al-Rafai and Sagar Al-Mashaj. 7th and 8th Hamda Al-Kabaisi and Oscar Wirtz. Andrei Petrovich and Kirill Kutskov round out the top 10, while Solomon Zanfari, Jabir Al-Thani, Abdulaziz Abu Zanada and Abdullah Al-Kabaisi round out the rest of the grid. And unfortunately, Hamda Al-Kabaisi not able to join us this weekend, but she will be back in Qatar, ladies and gentlemen. And you can see now all the cars have taken their position on the grid. Safety car at the back of the grid, and in just a moment we will see the lights go on. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and once they extinguish we will be underway. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. 2 lights, 3, 4, 5, and away we go. Looks like a good start from John Show and Laura Villas. Omar Al-Walid Al-Durrani having a little bit of a look up the inside, but deciding against it, tucking in behind the cars in front of him as Amda Al-Kabaisi goes around the outside at turn 1 to get the inside line through 1A. Can she make a move? It looks like they're 4 wide through 1A, and a spin there on the exit of 1A. That appears to be an orange car. Perhaps that might be bad news for Solomon Zanfari, and indeed it is bad news from Solomon Zanfari, who has a spin here at the opening section of the race. Seems like he's going to be able to get going again, so there won't be any need for a safety car. Fingers crossed, ladies and gentlemen, as we come 2 or 3 wide through turn 2 and up over the crest of the hill, down into the carousel of turns 3, 4 and 5. A little bit of a spin there as well for the green car of Faisal I believe that's Abdulaziz Abu Zanada, and the number 9, the orange car of Abdullah Al-Kabaisi. There may have been a little bit of contact there. Hopefully they will get going again as we come around the train into turn 7, a little bit wide on the exit there as we come down now through the flat out sections of turn 8, 9, 10 and 11 before we move into the right hand sector of the circuit. Looks like we're going to be stuck with the safety car, ladies and gentlemen. Car's number 11, that is Oscar Wirtz in the white number 11 car, who seems to have made contact with the light blue car of perhaps Kirill Kutskov or Sagar Al-Mashurj. We will see in just a moment who has had the unfortune to move out of the track and bring in the safety car. I'm sure we'll get a replay of that action for you in just a moment. As we continue around the circuit now, Omar Al-Walid Al-Durrani may have just made a critical error overtaking under safety car. I'm sure he just didn't see the safety car lights out at the moment, but unfortunately for him,
or maybe he just got his position back. If we haven't seen before, maybe one show.
Yes, that's possible. He may have been just taking back his position. I hope for him that is exactly what's happened. And in any case, the safety car has taken up the race leader, and we will now proceed on the safety car until the cars on track can be cleared. Did you notice which corner they were at, Luca?
I believe between 6 and 7, but it wasn't clear. While it's good, this is good news for Zanfari because he managed to restart the car and pack up again without losing the lap. So good news for him. So this safety car definitely helps him, because otherwise it was, it wouldn't be. Oh, also Abdullah is out of the car.
Yeah, we saw a spin at turn 2 between the green car of Abdulaziz Abu Zanada and the orange number 9 car of Abdullah Al-Kabaisi. The green car seemed to get going again. Unfortunately, Abdullah not able to do so, and you can see him there going behind the service barriers as we continue now down into turn 2 with the safety car leading the procession. A bit slow perhaps here with the safety car, Luca. They could go a bit faster if you think.
So, we had a bit of a discussion on what was the right pace for the safety car. I think the main goal was for the safety car to pick up first at the begin, and then they will probably ask them to speed up. But also now we go in the area where there are, where there is yellow flag and there are the cars stopped, so they just maybe reduce the speed a little bit too much, but then I'm sure that once the track is clear, the safety car will speed up a little bit more.
Yes, indeed. As they come over the crest now and down into turns 3, 4 and 5, the carousel, Luca Filippi's favorite corner of the track. Mine's the next one on the circuit. That's turn 6, the sweeping left-hander. And it looks like we're going to have a quick replay of the start of the race now. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 and 5 lights. And as they go out, we are underway. A good start from the drivers on the front of the grid. Omar having a little bit of a look. And Abdulaziz Abu Zandan actually seemed to have a fantastic start at the back of the grid as we come 2 or even 3 wide down into 1A. You can see Hamda Al-Kabaisi trying to make a move on the inside of 1A. And you can see here, this is what happened. There's just a little bit of a touch between the green car and the orange car. That's Abdulaziz Abu Zanada and the orange car of Sulaiman Zanfari. Sulaiman spinning off as a result, but managing to rejoin the race, as you can see on screen at the moment. Back to the action, you can see we are coming down into turn 2 on the replay here, side by side again in multiple scenarios, and you can see this is where there's going to be that little touch between Abdulaziz Abu Zanada and the orange car of Abdullah Al-Kabaisi. There you go on screen at the moment. Abdulaziz managed to continue while Abdullah stalls on track, and this will be one of the reasons why the safety car is brought out. You can see here as well, this is the primary reason. Now there's going to be some contact in just a moment between the light blue car and the white car of Kirill Kutskov and Oscar Wirtz. Replay now from the angle of the drone. You can see a very, very interesting angle at the start of the race. Down the grid, you can see some people getting a fantastic start as we go 3 wide into turn 1, 1A and 1B. Really interesting section of the track here, because when you overtake on the inside at turn 1, you lose the advantage on the outside at turn 1A, and then you gain it back again on 1A. So it's a very complicated section of the track to get correct. But it does seem as if some of the drivers are picking it up, because we're having a very, very interesting race time and time again as we come down the main straight now with all of the cars still proceeding behind the safety car. Hopefully we'll get a message from race control soon that the safety car will be coming in, but at the moment it seems that we're still recovering the cars of Kirill Kutskov, Oscar Wirtz and Abdullah Al-Kabaisi. Abdullah Al-Kabaisi's car there, and the orange car just coming behind the service roads, and you can see the white and light blue cars being recovered, so we should be underway momentarily. Luca Philippe, what words of wisdom do you have for Faisal Al-Kabani at the front of the pack under the safety car restart?
So Faisal is a really fast driver, experienced driver from Saudi, and he was a little bit inconsistent with his starts, while today he had a good one, and he also managed to overtake Laura Villas right before the safety car intervention, which was, I think, crucial for today, because he has to try and once we have a restart, to stretch as much as possible the gap, because Laura for sure will do her best to maintain the podium position, but definitely I expect Federico Arifai and Omar Alderayan trying to push from the very beginning right after the restart. So in that phase, Faisal has an opportunity to try and stretch the lead a little bit. This is what I believe, yeah.
Well, he's got no choice if he wants to win the race. He's got to stretch that lead. We saw it's possible yesterday evening with Sulaiman Zanfari, who managed to rack up a 4-second lead ahead of Oscar Wirtz, the man in second place, who is unfortunately still beached on the outside of turn 7, I believe, or is that the inside of turn 6 over there? Is that them over there on the inside of the outside of turn 5, inside of turn 6? No, I didn't see exactly where they spun off.
Exactly, me neither. Like, for sure, it's a bit weird. Both cars were basically pointing out towards the runoff area, so I think it's one of those scenarios where when you are wheel to wheel, then you sort of the rotation of the wheel coming together sort of change the direction of both cars, and they lost control and they got together like that, and one of those things that in the first lap can happen. Definitely not what they wanted, as they both had a very, very fast pace. Like yesterday, Oscar finally managed to have a strong race with a podium position with P2, and today he definitely wanted to try and have a couple of other podiums, while Kirill, starting from the first row yesterday, he just didn't just didn't maximize after a slow start, like we just said before. So just a shame to lose two fast drivers and contenders for today's race too.
Yes, indeed it is, but it is good news for some of the other drivers on track, such as Andrej Petrovic, who's going to be trying his hardest to get up into the podium positions. He, of course, will have to fight with Gianjo Brobio, who's just in front of him, and Federico Alrafai, who seems to have had a very good start indeed. Federico started off P5 and he's now up into P3 already, and I'm sure under the safety car restart he's going to try and make a move on Laura Villas just in front of him, and then immediately after that seek down Faisal Al-Kabani down into turn 2. I'm sure that's the goal he has in mind, but he's not going to be allowed to get away with that easily, because Omar Al-Walid Al-Durrani in the yellow Saudi car, the number 18 car, is right behind him, and he's going to be trying everything to get up onto the top step of the podium. Hasn't managed to have a podium yet so far this weekend or last weekend, unfortunately, but he's got his eyes set on it for this race. And with P4 and the safety car restart, he may well be able to make something happen for Saudi Arabia here this weekend, but I'm sure he'll be pushing on his compatriot as well, Faisal Al-Kabani, who's another Saudi driver driving the silver number 7 car at the front of the grid at the moment. This is going to be a very interesting experience for Faisal here, because it's going to be his first safety car restart where he's leading the grid, I believe, in these Formula 4 cars. He's going to have the opportunity to control everything and see exactly what happens at the restart, and he's only going to have a few corners to finalize any planning he may have in regards to that. As I just see from race control, the safety car should be in this lap. We understand that the safety car lights should go out at turn 16, so we are just 4 corners away, ladies and gentlemen, from that happening, and once it does, the safety car will proceed away from the grid in order to give them space to maneuver, and Faisal Al-Kabani will take over as the leader of the race. No overtaking allowed until the cars cross the start-finish line, so that means Faisal will have control of the pack, and you can see already the safety car lights have gone off, and it is proceeding away from the pack. Everybody speeding up in response to this. Faisal Al-Kabani now has to decide what exactly he's going to do and when he's going to put the throttle down. We've seen different concepts here. We saw Hamza Al-Kabasi start about midway down the back straight. We've seen other drivers start all the way at the beginning of the back straight, and we saw one guy just about at the final corner hit the gas. So it's going to be up to Faisal to see exactly what he does, and let's have a look on track now. We can see that he's still backing everybody up coming down the back straight now, and that's his prerogative to do so. I suspect that he's going to make a move coming just out of turn 20, and he's going to try and get his tires as warm as possible before he does that. Everybody queuing up behind him now, and you can see he's already put the throttle down coming down into the exit of turn 20. Seems to have gotten away very nicely indeed. Definitely got a bit of a jump there on Laura Villas as they come across the start finish line. Let's have a quick run through the order. We've got Faisal Al-Kabani, Laura Villas, Federico Alrafai, Omar Al-Durain, and it looks like there's going to be an overtake between the 2 red cars, the sister red cars, the 77 of John Brobio and the 49 of Andrej Petrovic. Andrej taking a very calm and level-headed approach to this overtaking maneuver on his teammate as they come through 1A, 1B, and down the second straight into turn 2, which is a fantastic overtaking opportunity. And it seemed like Andrej Petrovic got a much better exit coming out of turns 1B and is going to make the move up into turn 2. Is the light blue car of Sagar Al-Mashar going to make a move as well? Yes, indeed he does. Both 2 cars follow their way through. The Serbian and the Kuwaiti drivers managing to make a move up on the Philippines into turn 2 as we come down through the carousel around the left-hander now at turn 6. It looks like Federico Alrafai making a move on the inside of turn 6 there on Laura Villas. Can he close the door through turn 7 and secure that position? I believe he already has, and has got now Faisal Al-Kabani in his sights as we come down through the flat-out snaky section here of turns 9, 10 and 11 before the right-handed section of the track. Luca Philippe, what did you think of that restart?
So Laura Villas did a super job in maintaining the position, even in turn 2, which is an overtaking place. But then she was a bit, caught by Federico just in a changing of direction after that. But I think she's doing her job right in order to maintain, stay calm and do her best. Federico, we have seen, is one of the fastest driver of the series, so it wasn't easy for her to keep him behind. And Faisal, yeah, he's still in the lead, but couldn't quite stretch the gap as maybe he wanted to.
And you can see on track Omar Walid Al-Durrani in the yellow number 18 car is having a lot of difficulty here trying to fend off the red number 49 of the Serbian driver Andrej Petrovic as we come down the main straight now. Andrej Petrovic makes a move up the inside at turn 1, secures that position on Omar Al-Walid Al-Durrani. Omar not going to give it up easily though, tries to fight back on the outside, trying to take that inside line through 1A, can't quite hold on to it and goes a little bit wide. He's lost a bit of time. They may have to now sacrifice another position to the light blue car of the Kuwaiti driver Sagar Al-Mashaj. The number 5 car on the left hand side of your screen now, ladies and gentlemen. Is he going to make a move up the inside, the outside at turn 2? Can he make it stick? And it looks like right behind him Hamda Al-Kabasi maybe trying to follow her way through as well around the outside at turn 2, too wide through turn 2. Looks like Omar manages to push him just slightly wide, and Hamda is going to capitalize on that loss of momentum to try and take Sagar Al-Mashaj. Al-Durrani, can she do that? No, she cannot. Sagar pushes her off, and the orange number 52 of Solomon Zanfari now capitalizing on the loss of momentum with the cars in front of him to overtake Hamda Al-Kabasi on the inside at turn 6, closing the door through turn 7, and we're now into the flat out section of the track.
Yeah, we were saying yesterday we had a very clean race and not so much action, but here it is today, race 2. What a fantastic race, a lot of action, and good job from Suleiman Zanfari in just being at the right time in the right place, and he just got Hamda Al-Kabasi, while Omar is in a bit of a struggle after the restart. We expected him to fight for a podium position after where he wasn't. Mistake from Faisal Al-Kabani, but he maintains the lead for a moment.
Well, I think that he purposely went a little bit wide there, because we've seen that section of the track has a little bit of a aggressive curve, so we've instructed them to go, if you lose it a little bit, just go completely wide and avoid the curve so you don't damage the underbody of the car. Unfortunately for him though, he lost a lot of momentum, and it seems like Federico Al-Rafai has taken advantage of that and is up into P1 as we come down into the final corner of the track. Faisal Al-Kabani, of course, not going to give up easily as we come down the main straight. Now you can see him trying to get a toe on the driver in front of him, but he's maybe just a little bit too far back to make that happen. Just behind them we see a lot of action on track with the number 49, the red car of the Serbian driver Andrej Petrovic, and just behind them of course we have Laura Villas still holding in there for P4. Fantastic drive so far from her.
Yeah, Laura, I mean, she did great also to stay quite close to the guys in front, so it's also good for her to get references and to stay in the lead pack, so she can also improve a little bit her driving, and also imitation is one of those things that these guys they do, while they are following other people. It's not just the slipstream and the toe, it's also learning from what you can see from the lines and the techniques from the guy in front, and she's doing a really good job in maintaining the position, and also in not making mistakes, stay in the line nicely. Good job for her.
To see how close the yellow car Roma Al-Durrani was behind her through the carousel there, Luca, right up, almost touching indeed it was.
Yeah, super close, and potentially this is a section where we have seen Omar quite fast in this very long corner, and ideally he has to try and stay flat out through turn 19 and maybe have a try turn 20, which is the last turn of the circuit.
And the battle for I believe that is 7th position is still undergoing between Solomon Zanfari and Hamda Al-Kabasi in the orange number 52 and the purple number 8 car. Solomon took that position a few laps ago, but Hamda is not giving up easily, and it's been tussling back and forth between the two of them ever since. As you can see at the front of the track, Andrej Petrovic trying to make a move on the man in front of him, Faisal Al-Kabani, and just behind them, Sagar Al-Mashaj trying to make a move on Laura Villas. Laura holding on as hard as she can, but it looks like Sagar got a very, very good exit coming out at turn 20, and he may be alongside already as they come down into turn 1, and he has secured that position for Kuwait. That puts Sagar up into P5, and now he can start charging down the men in front of him.
So we now have car 18 and 77 for potential overtaking under safety car. we have seen a situation, but for sure they are reviewing.
It looks like we're going to go 3 wide down into turn 2. Sullivan Zanfari making a move up the inside of Laura Villas, while Amda Al-Khabaisi tries to make a move as well. They're both past Laura, and can Hamda capitalize on this to try and make to get herself back in front of the orange car, the Moroccan car? Can she do that? Not quite, as we come around turn 6 now. Are you as surprised as I am, Luca, at how many overtakes we've seen on the sweeping left-hander of turn 6? It's become my favorite corner of the track.
Yes, we have seen that the inside line is working very well, especially if you can prepare the angle in order to have a good exit and then stay in the inside and just make a shorter distance, and is really rewarding.
Yes, indeed, and you can see Andrei Petrovic still struggling to get past the man in front of him, Faisal Al-Kabani. Faisal having a very good race indeed to hold off the extremely experienced Serbian karter. As we come around into the final sector of the track now, you can see Hamda Al-Khabaisi all over the back of the orange number 52 of Sullivan Zanfari. Sullivan Zanfari having a spin at the beginning of the race really changed things up for him in this session, and Hamda is trying to capitalize on that loss of momentum he had at the beginning of the session to gain a higher podium position from herself. Coming down the back straight now, you can see that Andrei Petrovic is just right up behind the silver number 7 of Faisal Al-Kabani. Faisal holding on for dear life as Andrei looks for a position left, looks for a position right, but just can't find a way past the silver bullet.
So, in this lap, Omar, he was the fastest on track. So after the restart, he wasn't really finding the right rhythm, but now he's the fastest guy on the circuit. And as you can see, he got now quite close to the podium fight between Al-Kabani and Petrovic. And you see how Faisal is defending, Petrovic right behind him.
Switching back left and right, the red car having to have a look for the move left and right again. As we come down through turn 2, he decides to tuck in behind the silver bullet in front of him and down up over the crest, down into the carousel. Looks like a bit of a wide line there from the silver number 7. Are we going to see another overtake on the inside of turn 6? Andre not quite close enough to pull it off this time around, as we switch back now to the right-handed turn 7 and then down through the flat-out section of the track. A bit of a breather here perhaps for Faisal Al-Kabani. He can regain his composure and look for a way to pull away from the driver behind him.
Yeah, watch out also because Omar Al-Durayan and Sakir Al-Mosherji, they are also joining the group. So now it's a fight for 4 guys for the moment, and let's see. This is very interesting.
It's a very, very interesting battle indeed, and we saw
Faisal wide again.
Everybody managing to continue through safely, though, with the silver car still at the head of this pack, but he has definitely lost momentum with that excursion. As we come around now the penultimate corner of the track, I can see them out the commentator's window as they come down the back straight now. Looks like the red car of Andrei Petrovic is just a little bit too far back to make a move on the silver bullet, but Omar Al-Walid Al-Durrani may be close enough, and it looks like he's going to switch back on the red number 49 at the exit of turn 20. Can he get in the slipstream and come alongside before turn 1? Not quite, doesn't quite have enough exit speed from that corner, but it definitely appears like Andrei Petrovic has had to back off in his second place challenge in order to defend from the yellow and blue cars of Omar Al-Walid Al-Durrani and Sagar Al-Mashaj just behind him as we come down the second straight now and into turn 2, which is another fantastic overtaking opportunity. Up the inside or around the outside, Luca Philippe, what do you predict? And it looks like Sagar Al-Mashaj is not going to give you an opportunity to answer, as he's now side by side with Omar Al-Walid Al-Durrani through turn 2. Both drivers giving each other enough space, but being pushed just slightly a bit wide. There is the yellow cars that come down into the carousel. Can Omar maintain track position? He does so very effectively indeed. And oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, the orange number 52 of Sullivan Zanfari is taking advantage of this battle and has gone around the inside of Sagar Al-Mashaj on turn 6 and is now going to be able to close the door through turn 7 and have a flat out section to gain a little bit of distance between his on-track rival as they come down into turns. 12, 13, 14, 15 and 16. This is the next chance where we might see an overtake, and it may be possible for Sagar Al-Mashraj to regain that position on the Moroccan driver as they come down into the right-handed sector of the track. We can see a yellow car, a light blue car, a purple car and an orange car, so it seems like Amda Al-Khabaisi is in there as well now.
Yeah, so Amda went on the inside in turn 7, and she just found the space she needed to just squeeze on the inside, and yeah, she made it stick. Saker was able to hold on the outside from Suleiman Zanfari and defend, and that gave Amda the momentum and the opportunity to also get the place. And now Amda, she looks really fast and really close to Saker Al-Mosherji. Amda, she's now really, really fast at the moment, and she maybe also able to maintain his tire in the right working range, and she seems one of the fastest car on track for the moment.
Well, after a maneuver like that, you've really got to regain a lot of confidence. I mean, you have to give credit to Omar as well. He managed to fight back from turn 2 and regain that position at turn 3, sliding down through the carousel to push Sagar off and regain his position. Fantastic driving from the Saudi.
Yeah, Omar is a fighter. We know that. Also because it was the right time to try and do it, because it was so close to the fight with Petrovic and Al-Kabani, and if he lost the position to Saker, it would have been really difficult to stay in that fight for the podium. But now, if he can, focus and close the gap again, he still have 1.5 lap to go.
And we can see the result of all of this battling is that Andrej Petrovic has been able to put the pedal down and is now challenging again for second position. As we can come around now through turn 6 and then down into turn 7, we're going to have a quick look into the pit lane, and everybody paying rapid attention to the timing screens. Back onto the track now, though, we have Federico Alberfai in the white number 10 car stretching his lead, and as you can see, Andrej Petrovic right up behind the silver bullet of number 7 car, but Omar Al-Walid Al-Durrani is catching as well, and we're going to have a very, very interesting last lap, I believe, as we come through the right-handed sectors of the track now, turns 12, 13, 14 and 15. We can see a little bit of a different line there from the yellow car. Luca Philippe, what's the right line through this section of the track?
So you have to maximize the minimum speed. You have to try and carry as much speed as possible. It's a 4th gear corner, that one, and or 5th also. And you have to carry as much speed as possible. And now we have Amda really, really close.
Amda along the outside there. Is she going to make a move? Not quite. Stays tucked in, but it looks like Faisal Al-Kabani has lost his second position to Andrej Petrovic, and Omar Al-Walid Al-Durrani may have made a bit of mistake coming out of the corner there.
That fast section is one of those places that...
Oh! Big contact here coming into turn 1. That's the wing of the car. The car's beached in the gravel. That is going to be a safety car, ladies and gentlemen, and I believe that'll mean we will end on the safety car as well. Coming down the second straight now, though, safety car hasn't been released yet, so there's still action on track, as it seems like Hamda Al-Khabaisi is going to take a position away from Kuwait coming down into turn 2 now. Sagar managing to maintain his track position quite well indeed as they come up over the crest and down into the carousel, turns 3, 4 and 5. Hamda following as closely as possible, and the orange number 52 of Suleiman Zanfari right behind her, looking up the inside of turn 6. We've seen this maneuver before, but Hamda wise to the tactic and has seemed to close the door coming through turn 7 as we come down now into the flat out, turns 8, 9, 10 and 11 before the right-handed section of the track. Luca Filippi, do you think we're going to see a safety car for that car beached at turn 1, or because it's the last lap, might we get away without it?
So definitely we can see from here a yellow flag displayed in that area, which is turn 2. So if we see a safety car, we might have to wait until we cross more or less the finish line, as the track is clear until when we arrive basically before turn 2. Such a shame for Faisal, and he had a bit of a difficult lap, and he was trying to regain a position, and unfortunately just touched the rear of Sakiramo Shergi and lost control.
This is now the final lap, I believe, and as we cross the start-finish line, we have Federico Al-Rifai taking first position ahead of Andrei Petrovic and Omar Al-Duran. Sagar Al-Mashur is bringing us fourth position here for Kuwait, and Hamda Al-Kabaisi taking home fifth. Quick replay now of the action here with Faisal Al-Kabani, I believe. As we come down, you can see him try to make a move onto the inside line on the Kuwaiti driver ahead of him, but just clips what would appear to be the rear left tire of the Kuwaiti driver and gets pitched into the entrance of turn 1.
So, yeah, what a shame that the race has ended for like this for Faisal.
Big lock up there for the number 99 driver, Abdulaziz Abu Zanada, coming down into turn 2, but everybody seems to be okay and has gotten out of the car, and in just a moment the recovery process will continue, and we will head down to the podium for the results, and that's my cue, Luca, so I'll leave you to entertain the ladies and gentlemen as we all head down to the podium procession.
Thanks, Aaron. And so, as you can see, we had a lot of action today. So after a very clean race yesterday, today we have seen a lot of action, many overtaking maneuvers, and Federico Rifai, after not a brilliant qualifying from yesterday, he managed to pull up a strong race, especially maximizing the restart. He got the place from Laura Villers, and later on he just was behind Faisal Al-Kabani, and after a small mistake from Faisal, he was able to gain the lead of the race, and another victory for Federico Rifai. Not a perfect day for him yesterday, but today he's starting definitely on the right foot. And another podium for Andrei Petrovic, very consistent guy. He's really consistent, always there, and quite impressive. He's also a rookie, so he's not so experienced, but what we have seen from him is definitely somebody who has a lot of talent. And then Omar Al-Darayan, really funny guy, is a fighter, is a fast guy, and today he managed to bring home a podium, and he fought for it. So it's well deserved. And Sakiramo Shergi, another P4 home race for him, for Sagar, and he's displayed, he's shown a lot of speed. And then Amda, she was probably the fastest today. Again, she didn't have a fantastic start, unfortunately, but her pace was really good, and also good points for Amda. Suleiman Zamfari, not the start of the race that he wanted, as he had a contact and a spin in lap 1, but also thanks to the safety car, he was able to rejoin the group, and then he did a good fight with Amda through the race, and top 6 finish is good. Laura Villers, starting from the first row, I think, in a pole position. Laura did a very clean, good race. Also, the gap to the leaders was quite sure, and especially her best lap is a really good lap, because she managed to do a lap in 2 minute 04. So good job, Laura, because the improvement you made has been incredible. And also Wancho managed to do a 2:04. So this means that now we have almost all the drivers in within 1 second. So also Laura and Wancho, thanks to also the reverse grid, they are also able to race in the lead pack, and this is really helping them to understand and learn the rhythm lap by lap, following the lines. And if you see the guy in front with the same car as you able to carry certain speed, then you're also doing the same thing. So here we have a replay of the accident. So Faisal is trying to make one of those maneuvers where you hide, let's say, yourself on the outside, and then in the braking you try and cross the line, and from the outside you go into the outside, so in order to surprise your rival. And here we see the big lockup from Abdulaziz in the last lap. But Faisal, yeah, I mean, what he tried to do, it was a correct maneuver. It's just that at the same time Saker just braked for his braking point, so that has surprised Faisal a little bit, and he just didn't time perfectly the maneuver. Go Marcello for the interviews.
Omar Alderian, what a great race you had. Actually, you had really strong pace, especially in the middle of the race. You were one of the quickest car on track. And what a battle you have right over there, even with Saker Al-Mosheji. Can you explain how it worked in between 2, 3, and 4 side by side? Wow.
Yeah, from Bahrain, you know that I like to go side by side in corners. But the fight with Sagar was very fair, very fun, honestly. We hugged it around the outside, and then I got inside 2 corners later. And then it was mostly just trying to stick together to catch the pack ahead, because we were catching and then we'd fight and we'd lose. A couple mistakes here and there. Race could have been better, but nevertheless, I'm happy with P3.
Well, with the pace you had, with the strong pace you had, seemed that you lost a little bit of time in the first couple of laps, right?
Yeah, the first couple laps I was really struggling with something. I don't know if it was myself or the car, but I just couldn't get myself in the groove. But once the adrenaline kicked in, cars were around me, it was just go, go, go from there.
Congratulations, really great podium.
Yes,
Andrei Petrovic, second.
Yeah, definitely.
You're always there. You're always getting points. How can you be so strong with your pace?
Yeah, I mean, I'm very consistent. In last 5 races, I got 5 podiums, so I'm very happy. Every time I was third, so now I improved to second. And you know, starting from 9th, it was a long way back, but I had a really good start and managed to get second. I hope that's how we go, and next race I go first, but we'll see.
Well, you're getting always better, so hopefully the next one will be the highest step. Congratulations, Ray. Really good job. Federico Rifai, winner of race 4 last week, and this time you won the second race of the week. Yesterday you were struggling a little bit during qualifying, but now you're back.
Yeah, we had not so great qualifying, but yeah, first race was okay. We just got stuck behind the cars and we couldn't really do much. This race was definitely a lot better. I managed to get past 4 cars in front and I just pulled away.
So your work seemed to be quite easy, standing right there in front of all the people, just managing the gap. At the end of the race, you were just keeping the pace, or you were trying to pulling away?
I was trying to save the tires. As you know, I got quite a lot of graining. I was trying to save them for next race and try and avoid as much as I could.
Thank you, Federico. Go enjoy the podium.
So we heard from the top 3 finishers: Federico Rifai, Andrei Petrovic, and Omar Alderian. Definitely an exciting race, a lot of action, 2 safety cars, and here we have the classification. As we said, Federico Rifai, Andrei Petrovic, Omar Alderian. What a race from him. What a fight with Sakera Mosheji in P4. Amdal Kubaisi, not quite the result she deserved today, but she has been really quick. So watch out for race 3. She might be one of the contenders. And then Suleiman Zamfari, P6 after the spin in the first lap, managed to regain some position. Laura Villers, really solid race and amazing improvement in terms of lap time for her in P7 and for Juancho Brobro in P8. Jabor Altani, good for him, back with us this weekend in 9th place, Jabor Altani, and then position 10 for Abdulaziz Abuzenada. While We have seen also Wancho that starting from the front, then he finished in position 11, and then unfortunately we have Faisal Al-Kabani and Abdullah Al-Kubaisi, Oscar Wurz, Kirill Kustov that didn't finish the race. So it was a bit of a hectic race. We have seen a lot of action, and the safety car also. We are going to see again what happened in the first race of today, which is the race 2 of the weekend. So reverse grid of the second fastest lap from qualifying, contact from Suleiman Zanfari, the lost control, and then here we lose both Wurz and Kutskov, which are two very fast drivers, and here we have Almoshergi overtaking Wancho Brobrio and Zanfari, that from the back he had a fierce fight with Amda Al-Kubaisi and also with Laura Wheelers, and Amda then managed to regain the position later on, and Zanfari again fighting with Almoshergi, but Almoshergi managing to keep the position, and here we see the mistake and the accident between Faisal that after a difficult last lap, second last lap, he lost 2 positions, and then trying to regain 4th, he lost control. Here we have the leader and the winner of today, Federico Rifai. After a so-so day from yesterday, he managed to kick off the Saturday morning with a win. So he is also gaining valuable points for his championship fight, while his white teammate Oscar Wurz again had a difficult race today after the contact with Kutskov. We'll see again the start. 55 is Laura Wheelers, Wancho Brobrio on the outside, and 55 had a fantastic start, pulling away from P1, and Faisal Al-Kabani in the silver car in P2. Here we see in the middle of the pack also the contact that sent Zanfari in a spin. He will be able to rejoin the group, and thanks to the safety car also gains position. Here we have Kabani on the lead, and Zanfari managed to restart, and then we will have shortly also Wurz and Kutskov colliding and coming together, unfortunately for them. What a race, a lot of action. Here we also have, unfortunately, Abdulaziz Buzenada and Abdullah Al-Kubaisi colliding together, and this eventually then we had a safety car after. We see again the start from the drone. Look at the start from Laura Wheelers. Really, really good reaction and amazing start. Also Faisal managing to gain P2 from the outside, and then carrying a lot of speed into turn 1A and 1B and into the lead. What a start from Faisal. And then in turn 2, Laura Wheelers did a very good job in maintaining the second position. This is a really fantastic circuit also from the drone view. And then we have the contact in turn 2 that unfortunately has ended the race of Abdullah Al-Kubaisi. And oh, here we see the action, and Wurz and Kutskov colliding at the entry of turn 6, a very long left-hander. And yeah, we lost them at the very beginning of the race. Such a shame. Two fast guys. Kirill Kutskov is an okay karting world champion. Oscar Wurz is the youngest of the Wurz family, but is definitely a really fast, humble guy. And we are going to see the podium with Aaron Thompson presenting the podium and our best finishes of today, race 2. Aaron.
Andre Petrovic! And in first position, Federico Alrapai! And now for the first place trophy presentation. And the second place trophy presentation. And the third place trophy presentation. Thank you, guys. Now, if everybody could reset for the rookie podium, please. And now, the rookie podium for the race 2 here in the Formula 4 Arabia Championship Event 2. In third position, Sagar Almashash! And in second position, Omar Aldarin. And in first position, Andre Petrovic. And now for the first place trophy presentation. And the second place trophy presentation, please. And the third place trophy presentation. Thank you very much, everyone.
So, after a very exciting first race of today and second race of the weekend, we'll see you again for race 3. Again, reversed grid race. So, a lot of action again. Join us for today, race 3 of Formula 4 Saudi Arabia Championship. Thank you very much.